I've never had a 9-to-5 job. And at this point in my life, I don't think I ever will.
Are you unemployable?
I think I am unemployable.
If you want to have freedom, it's going to cost you your freedom at first.
Absolutely.
Trump or Biden?
To be honest, I think we're fucked either way. I'm not a fan of either or.
Welcome back to another episode of So What's Your Goal? I'm your host, Travis Otto, and today we're coming to you live from my studio here in Las Vegas, and you guys are going to want to pay attention to this podcast because we have this guy right here. He's a maverick in the brick and mortar retail sales, He's a baller out here in Vegas. But listen, we've been getting a lot of new viewers, a lot of new listeners lately, so if you guys are new to the show, you're going to want to stick through the end because I can assure you that you will learn something that will improve your life in at least one of three categories, or maybe all of them. Your health, your relationships, or your finances. But most importantly, we're going to inspire you to take action. So today we have Mr. Humza Grams. We have Mr. Humza here. He's born in Lahore, Pakistan. So he's an immigrant here, turned entrepreneur.
Sure am.
You have a couple of smoke shops is what you do.
Yeah.
So that's, almost stereotypical, Indian guy or Middle Eastern guy in a smoke shop,
Yeah, there's money in it. People do it for a reason.
Obviously, dude. So how'd you get into that?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. I got into it, I think purely on accident. My dad had one, and I ran from it for my whole life. And then life wasn't going the right way for my family. So I decided to bite the bullet at some point and take over and flip things around.
Okay. So when you took over, was the store performing well, or was
No. So when I took over, I believe we were about $200,000 in debt.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So then you guys were just a small smoke shop here in Vegas.
Yeah. So I mean, it was at that point it was losing money for years on end. You don't lose $200,000 in like that in an industry like this. So
why was it losing money? Just bad management?
It was bad management. It was a lot of, I guess losing money is the wrong way to put it. My mom was going through cancer at the time.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't have insurance, so we were paying for the treatment out of pocket. So it wasn't necessarily that I was losing money, whatever money it was making, and then some.
And then leveraging the business to
pay for my mom's treatments because
that's worth it.
Absolutely. So it wasn't necessarily all on bad management. So when I took over, it was just kind of not going the way it should have been.
Yeah.
And I came in. I got a little help from one of my uncles. He decided to front me the cash.
Okay.
And
a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, like small loan of $1 million, basically. That's exactly what happened. I got a small loan of $200,000 with zero interest, and I paid it off in. I believe 3 years. 2.5 years. I was done with it. I still have like the spreadsheet where I was making them payments and keeping track of how much I'd paid back.
Yeah.
So about 2.5 years later, I paid off $200,000, and then I think I was finally starting to get things together, and then the pandemic hit, and that was another blessing for me. So it worked out.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. The pandemic was great. I low-key wish it would happen again.
Okay.
Not the people dying, but
just the shutdown.
The sheer hysteria created a lot of opportunity for people that were looking for opportunity, I think.
Sure. So like you did record numbers during that time or what?
I didn't do record numbers. What I did is the city came in. I had the foresight to I like everybody else was terrified of in the early days because nobody knew what was happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. And so what I did is I took my store completely from people being able to walk in. Mm-hmm. We were now only curbside. So you would pull your car up. One of my employees would come out, get your order, run back in, grab it, take your payment, all that, and then run it back. And we were all wearing PPE equipment. Mm-hmm. And so when the city came to shut us down, we said we were doing curbside only.
Yeah.
So they gave me an extra week. I didn't know they were giving me an extra week. She just, the lady that works for the city said, "Oh, okay, you guys are fine. You're not letting anybody in."
Yeah.
Which, again, looking back at it, scientifically makes no sense. But
it doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
At the time, I lucked out. So they started closing businesses around me. Mm-hmm. And soon I was the only one open. Mm. So I was hitting numbers through the day. And then I think 4 or 5 days later, the same lady came back and said, hey, you got to shut down. I can't have this.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, you're the one who told me I could. So, yeah. And I've been following the rules. She goes, yeah, but my boss just said we can't do this.
Okay.
So I said, okay, can you let me finish out the day? And she said, yeah. So I got to finish out the day. And then the next morning I put up a sign outside that said, if you need anything, call or text this number.
Mm-hmm.
And people would pull up, call or text. And then I'd tell them to meet me around back. And we went cash only.
You're trapping in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
and
funny.
I was taking, in my head, I was upcharging people.
Mm-hmm.
I was charging more than we would normally charge when people would walk in.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, you guys are still cheaper than the place I go to. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I remember very clearly my sales average at that store before COVID was about $3,200 a day.
Mm-hmm.
The month that we opened right after COVID, I was doing about $5,300 a day.
Wow.
So I maintained a lot of those customers that I built over the course of that month and a half, because word spread that, hey, there's somebody selling.
Yeah.
And so for a good month and a half, I was working from noon to 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just show up at the store. People would text me. I'd watch a movie in the back. And in the middle of it all, I redid the floors. I gave the store a better look. And when we opened up, it was great. It worked out.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So there was an opportunity there. So I took, because my only issue was I didn't want to pay rent. I didn't want to have to, it wasn't like rent was, you didn't have to pay rent. It was just suspended. So it meant.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay rent later.
You're going to have to pay when you open up $12,000 to $16,000, because my rent is about $4,000 a month. When you open up, and I was like, I can't afford to just cough up $16,000 while I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. No.
So
it was stupid. We're still paying back all that money that they gave out.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
That's fucked. That's crazy, man. That's a pretty cool story. So you made it through the pandemic. You came out ahead.
Yeah.
And you got all your debt paid off in 3 years.
Yeah.
And now you've opened up another location.
Yeah, so the second one's been open about 1.5 years now, maybe a little more. It'll be 2 years in September, so whatever that makes it. And now I'm looking for a third
Location.
Yeah.
So what's your goal with these smoke shops, man? It's not. I mean, I don't know much about the industry.
There isn't a real goal here. I think my only motive, right, my big motivation right now is to capitalize on what I think I have going for me.
Yeah.
Make as much money as possible, and then cash out when the time comes.
So build it big enough to sell it out?
No, build it big enough to make enough residual income to throw into something else that'll actually make me a bigger portfolio. Buy some land, invest some.
Yeah.
Go that route.
So are there a lot of people who want to get into the smoke shop business? Have you met a lot of people like that?
I do. Yeah. I just met a guy yesterday who opened up a store not that far from me. I'm on Rainbow and Flamingo. He's on Rainbow and Sahara. So if anybody that's familiar would know, but it's maybe 3 lights down.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Oh, so you're Humza?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man? Do I know you? Or should I know you?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I just opened up a store, and I heard yours are really nice, and so I'm gonna come check them out." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not there. I'm not there at all. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at them. I don't care. I mean,
yeah."
So I feel like somebody that's concerned with my business isn't concerned with theirs. So
sure. Yeah, they're just trying to keep up with you is what they're thinking.
Yeah. So, which is fine. I mean,
yeah, do what you gotta do.
You know, if I'm running against Usain Bolt, I'm not worried about Usain Bolt. I'm not going to worry about Usain Bolt's fucking training, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes, I bought in 6 months ago, and I only bought it because it was cheap. It was $45,000 for me to buy in, which is very cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I was looking to buy a store, and that guy wanted $500,000.
But it was profitable, probably making money.
Yeah, it was profitable. It wasn't $500,000 profitable, but yeah. So there's definitely a disconnect when people come to sell and buy. But yeah, there is a lot of. You mentioned earlier that it's a typical Middle Eastern guy in some sort of convenience store space.
Yeah. Why is that? What's the
culture
behind that?
One, it's low startup.
Okay.
High return.
How much does it cost to get started in a smoke shop?
Well, I mean, that guy
from ground zero.
That guy got started at $45,000.
That's true. Okay.
It depends on your build out. My second store cost me about, I want to say, 250 to 280 to build out
before you open the doors.
Before I open the doors, but
Yeah.
that one is built out. I mean, it's probably one of the nicer stores in Vegas. So
Sure. It is, yeah.
And the inventory, it's stacked with inventory.
Yeah.
So a lot of that goes into inventory and stuff. But it depends. And that store made profit at the end of the year. You know, I got my full investment back out of it in a year, so I can't complain.
Not bad. Yeah.
You know? That's what I'm saying. So,
It's not a bad business.
It's not a bad business. It's a messy business, but it's not a bad business.
Yeah. Is it a lot of work?
It is in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing. I think it is when I have the luxury of going into it now with some money in my pocket so I can move accordingly. But when you don't have financial backing or financial security in regards of how you're going to pay rent, how you're going to pay employees, you got to work yourself. Because I remember when I first started, I was working 7 days a week, 18-hour days for, I think, a solid, I want to say about a year and a half before I could even get
any time off.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's not easy to build. And
why don't you just go get a 9-to-5 job? You know, screw that. Shut the business down. Go get a 9-to-5.
I've never had a 9-to-5 job. And at this point in my life, I don't think I ever will.
Are you unemployable?
I think I am unemployable because I've seen, well, yeah, I mean, so are you now.
Yeah, I'm definitely way unemployable. You could never employ me.
Yeah, so there's a because once you figure out that you can make money for yourself, you'll never work for somebody again.
No.
And I think people are scared to take that initial leap. But once you take that leap, and let's just say you do whatever business and you make $50,000, but your job was paying you $80,000. That $50,000 is going to matter a lot more to you than that 80 did.
Oh, yeah.
Because you did it on your own terms. I think, like we had this issue this morning. I woke up at 11:12 and I saw a text from you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see you in
see you in 45 minutes.
See you in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to be up till 4 a.m. and for whatever reason. I mean, some people choose not to be up at 4 a.m. Like you go to bed pretty early, you wake up pretty early, you do your thing.
I wake up at 4 a.m.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But you have off hours. I mean, you operate smoke shops that are open late night.
Yeah, so it's a different. Sense. But again, I have the freedom to do.
But here's one thing that you said. You said it took you about a year and a half to get going. You know, you were working 17-hour days, 18-hour days for like a year, right?
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody. You know, if you want to have freedom, it's going to cost you your freedom at first.
Absolutely.
So you have to give that up. I said everybody needs at least 1 year in a business of your choosing. If you're going to go be an entrepreneur, you want to go do your own thing, you need at least one solid year. If you can't commit to 1 year of just busting your ass and making, little to no money, then you're never going to make it. Like, I mean, you're going to make money, but your first year is always a struggle,
It always is. And I think I fell in love with the struggle at some point, I think.
Yeah. As you should.
It's fun. It gets really, really fun when, because when I was opening my second store, I had no money left. I mean, this was everything I had thrown into this thing.
All in.
Not knowing if it's going to work or not. A lot of doubts because you amass a certain amount of money and you have a safety blanket. You have a little cushion where you're like, all right, worst case scenario, I know I'm good for an X amount of years.
Yeah. And
then when you give it all up and invest it into something, you don't know if you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And I low key loved it. I loved, there would be weeks when I was like, all right, I got, I'm doing all right. And then there was weeks when I was like, fuck, I got to hit some ramen noodles, And so like it goes both ways. I think it's really cool that I think it's fun to be in that mindset sometimes.
Yeah.
To get it out the mud again is almost just as fun sometimes. For me at least, because it makes me feel more active. Like I normally don't roll out of bed till noon. 3 days ago, I had to take contractors out to look at this new spot to get a quote on a build out. I was up at 8 a.m. I had all my errands done by noon so I could meet them at noon.
Yeah.
And my day was finished at 1 and I felt good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm done at 1 p.m. I have from now until whenever I go to bed to do whatever I want.
Sure.
So like I feel more active when I'm involved in something that I'm building.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's all about, it's like It is like chasing like a high or something like that, or just
Yeah.
like it's like a game at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it is.
It's like
It
a
is
game.
exactly like a game.
It's like, dude, how much can I fucking make? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Where's
like-
the cap?
Yeah, where's the cap? Is there a cap? I don't know. I'm gonna test the boundaries
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, and that's why I want to talk with you and have you on the show, because like you're like a hustler like that. Like you have this hustler mentality.
like,
You're not
it's-
afraid to
to me,
gamble, bro.
it's- No,
Like, gamble
no, I
on
love
you.
gambling. Gambling, which isn't the way to go, but
Yeah.
it's fun. It's exhilarating.
Well, you got to gamble. And you got to take some gambles.
You have to
calculated risks, I guess.
calculated risk. It's not gambling. It's a you sit there and you think about it and you go, all right, this might be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting though. It gets I think once people start doing it, you start to really quickly see, hey, this is the better life,
Yeah.
because you can't work for somebody else.
Not after you've had the good life.
No.
Not when you have that freedom, when you can be done at 1
No.
o'clock and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, because you're talking to a guy that makes an X amount more than you, but sometimes, which is I think a big problem in most industries now.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are working at the ground level know more than their managers,
Yeah.
or they know how to run it.
Well,
better
they
than
know
their
the
managers.
business probably better than the managers, but the
Yeah.
managers know the high level.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I think any business works better at ground level. So like when my employees talk to me, I listen to what they have to say,
Yeah, because you understand them.
because I'm not in there every day.
Yeah.
I'm not the one working the counter. I'm not the one helping customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to listen to them and go, all right, yeah, this is worth doing. But I think when you add layers to it, when you have a CEO and then a CFO and then this guy and that guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then, some senior VP and blah, 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 a lot of information is getting diluted and lost.
Yeah.
And a lot of core information is getting diluted and lost.
I agree with that. Thinking about that, like, CEO, CFO, big corporations, are there any like big corporate like smoke shops out there?
No, it's not a thing.
Mm.
It's not scalable like that.
Why don't you think?
Because again, low investment, high return. It doesn't take much to get into it, and
Bro.
you can't. The only way to do it is if you were to reach out to Marlboro, to RJ Reynolds and Philip Morris and say, hey, start selling only your cigarettes only to me.
Well, not even that. Think about it like this. Like, I mean, I don't know your business well enough, but I know that it's a business. Your industry is run by small time entrepreneurs.
Right.
And there's no like big consolidation out there for
Right.
your industry. And private equity money is reaching every industry that I know. And
Oh, absolutely. Me and my brother had a conversation about this the other day.
yeah, dude. I mean, like, if you know how private equity works, it's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. And I guarantee you there's a way. They're doing it with lawn care companies. Like two guys in a truck.
Yeah.
They're buying up 2 guys in a truck. They're buying up 10 of them, and then they're consolidating them together. They're putting the same matching T-shirts and hats on them, and a logo on the side of the truck, and they're bundling that up and reselling it to somebody else as a new business. That's what private equity does. And so if you had the same thing where you buy up 10 smoke shops in the valley and you all brand them the same thing, now you have a corporation like that. What's that one chicken, like Dave's Famous Chicken or something like that?
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Dave's Hot Chicken. It's the same, concept where it's like it's a small startup, and I don't know. I wonder if that would work.
They have something that's their own. They have something that's proprietary.
They have chicken, yeah.
They have their chicken recipe or whatever, or they serve it with a piece of
You
piece
could do
of
all
bread.
your own private label smoke shit.
No, it's a lot harder to do because there's so much competition,
Yeah.
and a lot of these guys.
I don't want to hear about
aren't
competition.
selling.
I have a shit ton of competition in my industry.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
There's a way to find the blue ocean. Have you read that book, Blue Ocean Strategy?
I'll check it out.
How to create an uncontested market space and make the competition irrelevant.
I mean, I don't care about my competition. Basically,
Yeah.
when I say competition, I mean there's a lot of people in the industry, and some of these guys aren't selling for, like you were talking about how private equity comes in for lawn care places.
Yeah.
Sure, how much are lawn care places selling for?
I don't know. Not in that business.
Some of these guys, there's guys that are selling their stores for 45,000. There's guys that are selling their stores for 500,000.
Yeah.
It becomes very expensive to do and run and maintain while you kind of it's not like you can just go in and I can just amass 10 stores because I have to then run 10 stores.
Yeah.
And we don't have any real inventory systems because a lot of glass does not come with barcodes.
You need to put barcodes on it.
It's a whole full-on undertaking to put
Yeah.
on because you're not getting the same. It's not like you create one, you got a bong.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that same bong back. You get what I'm saying?
You're gonna get a different unique.
You're gonna
bong.
get a different piece.
Different piece. So they don't make like 10 of the same ones.
They do, but you're not ordering 10 of the same ones because who wants to walk into a store where you have 10 of the same ones?
So how do you organize your water pipes, your bongs, and that sort of stuff?
They are hand stickered.
Hand stickered. So every single piece is unique.
Every single piece is unique.
Is your pricing on every single bong uniquely priced?
No. So I have done that where I went and said, okay, so if a piece costs me between this range, we will price it
at this range.
Yeah. So it doesn't, on certain pieces in that price range, I may make more, I may make less, but it makes it easier.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I came up with to kind of make my life easier.
Bro, I think you should think about it like, I tell you this all the time because
we've had this conversation plenty of times.
I know because I just know what I know about other industries,
and
you have these limiting beliefs about your industry, but I don't know that much about your industry. But I do believe that there's a way to, turn this bitch corporate, which could make you a shit ton of money. I think.
I'll revisit the idea again because I was talking to my brother. My brother went to Dartmouth and he knows a lot of these kids that went to. One of his roommates is now in private equity.
Yeah,
and he was talking to this kid. He goes, "So how's your brother doing?" And I only met this guy a handful of times because it was my brother's roommate. I would see him, whatever. So they were in Vegas. They were hanging out. He goes, "How's your brother doing?" He goes, "Oh, he opened up his second store." And so being private equity, they start asking numbers.
Yep.
And my brother knows all my numbers. I don't hide it from him. He has access to whatever he needs. And, I trust the kid. So he starts telling them. And he goes, "Holy shit, this is crazy."
Yeah.
In private equity terms, this is like
insane.
We look for shit like this.
Yeah.
This is like a gold mine.
Yeah.
But it's not every store.
It's not every store.
I've been really lucky.
But that's why you're lucky because it's not that you're lucky. You created your own luck because you know what you're doing.
I think I don't buy that. It's not about creating your own luck. I think no, because I can guarantee you there's people out there that work harder than I do that don't reach the same levels of success I did.
Because you're smarter.
You can call it whatever. I choose to call it the universe. Sometimes the universe rewards.
So you don't think that you have any magic touch that caused your businesses to do better than Joe Schmo down the street?
No, when setting up a smoke shop, my biggest issue is a lot of my industry is very shady.
Yeah, it is.
They're horrible experiences. So, and a lot of these guys don't speak English. They run it themselves.
Yep.
They run it with a very limited skill set. They don't know the product. They're just buying shit and, hoping somebody comes and buys it, and they don't know. They can't take care of their customers.
Yeah.
So to me, my biggest issue is, my biggest thing when I'm opening up a store is make it look nice, make it look presentable.
Yep.
Have it fully stocked. Lighting should be great because lighting makes a big difference. You're selling glass products and other things. You want it to look nice. And every single person in the store should speak at least English fluently.
Is customer service big?
Customer service is huge, I think. I think when you want to go back where you feel like you were understood.
Yeah.
I went to a different Starbucks today. And I'm not a big fan of Starbucks, but the one I normally go to, they always get my order right. They know how I like my coffee. So I always go there. I went to a different one because I was going down a different road. And
they fucked up your order.
It fucked up my order. And it's the same order.
Yeah.
So customer service is big.
Have you been at Chick-fil-A?
I have. Great customer service.
Exactly.
Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros is a wonderful example of it.
Yeah.
Dutch Bros, these kids will literally die asking you how you're doing.
Yeah. What are you doing this afternoon? You got any plans?
Which is very like for people like me that don't like interacting with other people when I don't know them.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go through and be like, yo, like I just want my little kicker, like let me go.
Yeah.
But they do well because of it, because people appreciate it. So that when Dutch Bros first opened up in Vegas, that was my first experience with them.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I took that in real quick. I was like, oh shit, this works because all these people know. So you go into my store, if you're one of my regulars, most of my employees know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Before you even get up to the counter.
Yeah.
So it's ready to go. So these things I think matter. It's not that I have any magic touch. I don't think I did anything. I just took my understanding of what I like in a business. So like when I go into high-end stores, what do you see? These people that I deal with, you get a sales rep, and if you shop with them enough, they get to know you. I get a text from my guy at Louis Vuitton that, hey, we got this, and I know you're interested in this stuff. Do you want it? Yes or no? We'll put it to the side. It's customer service.
Yeah.
They're building sales, and he's good in my book because he's getting me things that everybody else won't.
Sure. You like exclusivity. I mean, you got all the things, the Off-White,
Yeah.
the Rolex, the gold chain. I don't even know what kind of jeans those are. I'm sure
this is called Denim Tears.
Denim Tears?
This is a brand called Denim Tears.
Those $800 jeans or some shit.
Something like that. I think. Well, I think they're like $300 when you buy them on the website, but they sell out. They're like hype beast things.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, man, it matters. I think it always matters. So I don't think it's me per se. I just went.
It is you. I think you got imposter syndrome.
I think anybody that sees it and goes, "Hey, this is what you can do in this business," and then you go, "All right." I mean, it's pretty basic. I don't think it's that. I think I got back to luck. I think I got lucky. I think or the universe rewarded me, God, whatever you want to call it, at some point. Because I think it would be mad. And as much as I love to gloat about my own ego and my own achievements, I think none of it would be possible if I didn't get lucky somewhere along the way.
Sure.
And we were talking about this earlier. I think the Malcolm Gladwell thing, he talks about the 10,000 hours and how Bill Gates got lucky, basically. Yeah, he was gifted, but he was fortunate enough to be, his mom was like the president of the college, or his dad was.
Yeah.
Where they had the first computer. So he got the login computer time. And then when his college got it, or when his local university got it, they said, "Oh, there's some kids at the high school that know how to do this stuff." So they had these kids come, and Bill Gates was one of them. And in exchange of setting up their first computer, he got, because back then you had to log in, and now you got to use the computer for an hour at a time because there's only one. And so they would.
But there was how many other kids with him? You know?
No, absolutely. I'm not saying that. But by the time the computer became a normal thing, this guy had already spent so much time on it that he was just kind of ahead. I think that's what happened to me. My dad had a store. I had just kind of spent so much time
in the store
seeing what not to do.
Sure.
My dad wasn't the best at running it.
Yeah.
And so I learned very quickly what not to do, what things weren't working.
So then combination of knowledge and experience and just paying attention to customer service.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of luck. I think if I hadn't been bad in school, like I used to fuck around in high school, so my punishment was I would, instead of going home, I would go and have to sit at the smoke shop because there's nothing to do in the back and do my homework literally since freshman year.
Yeah, that's all you know.
So
that's funny.
That was all I knew was, all right, how does this work? And my dad is such a nonchalant dude. I mean, I remember, and again, you can't blame him. He'd been working at this thing single-handedly, no employees, 7 days a week for God knows how many years now. So I remember when I was 15, I would be in the store after I finished my homework. Homie would just walk out, just need a break, and then people would come in and I would have to take care of them.
Yeah, which is start ringing them up.
Super illegal, but I mean, most of my customers knew.
But if you have parents who own a business and you were a kid when they had the business, you're going to end up in the business. You just kind of
end up in the business. Yeah.
Like,
so it worked out. I think that part, I think, is a lot of.
Sure, it was luck, but you also are taking action, which is the big thing. You know, you could have.
Oh yeah, you could have just sat on that.
You could have sat there and did fucking nothing and just kept doing what your dad was doing. But you sat back, you analyzed, you thought about things to improve. So regardless, if you don't want to give yourself credit, or not, I'm going to give you credit for it.
I appreciate it.
So I'm going to say that you got some sort of at least an eye for something. I think you have an eye for like things that people like. Like you get like the hype of things. Like you understand like retail.
No, I've always understood.
You understand retail consumers.
Because
I don't.
I love the hype too. So I go, if I would buy it.
That means lots of people would.
That means a lot of people would buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I always think like, why the fuck would anybody buy this? And like the shit that I buy, like, it's like more of like necessity things or like ridiculously expensive things.
Yeah. We have very different tastes in.
Yeah.
Like you want to buy yachts and I go, nah.
I just want my Louis.
I don't know if I want
my
boat.
Louis wallet and a rollie.
Yeah. I don't know if I really want to go as far as a yacht. Cause I go, well, to have a yacht, I might enjoy it. I might not, but there's a certain upkeep with a yacht that I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
And so I'm like, I don't know if I want to dive into that.
Yeah.
But like material things, when it comes down to your basic hype piece things, they make a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm. And you can make a lot of money with them. But
absolutely. 100%.
And that's why I think if you could take like the Chick-fil-A model or the Dutch Bros model along with your business sense in the smoke shop industry, I bet you could change the game. Break the wheel. You say the industry's a certain way. What if you could redesign the wheel, you know?
It's very hard to do. I think it's.
That's why most people haven't done it.
I plan on doing it single-handedly if I have to. Like, again, I plan on building a chain of stores at some point that work for me and work under the same model.
Yep.
And kind of have the same design layout. Kind of, you know how McDonald's did it, and everything is kind of the same. So you get the same level of service and the same experience every time you go, and that kind of matters a lot. Yeah. But it's very hard to do when you're competing with 700 other
smoke shops.
So
that's why you have to create something unique. I mean, there's lots of places.
Very hard to get a
there's
unique
lots of places
here.
to get coffee from. There's lots of places to get chicken from, and yet people are lined up for both Dutch Bros and for Chick-fil-A on a daily basis.
Absolutely. I mean, Chick-fil-A is crazy. Chick-fil-A does numbers, dude.
Yeah, bro. And
Chick-fil-A per store does more than McDonald's, and they're closed a day of the week.
Yeah.
So they're playing on a 6-day week. Beating McDonald's is crazy.
I was in this conference, and they were comparing. There's a study done between McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and the amount of revenue that they make, and how many days that they're open, and the experiences at both. Like McDonald's is like, welcome to McDonald's, I gotta take your order, I gotta get you coffee, bye. Like it's like very just like ingenuine, just like, here you go. Yeah. They basically throw the food in your fucking face. Yeah. Versus you go to Chick-fil-A and like, hey, how you doing today? What can I get started for you? Are you gonna have the number one again? Okay, are you gonna be paying with cash or card? Okay, awesome, card. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow that car right up there behind you with the green license plate and go set up them. They'll get your name. And what was your name? Humza, by the way. Write that down. Yeah. Like the experience is totally different. And that's why it does. And so if you stick with your model and you grow that, I think, like, I want to see all of my friends just do crazy dumb shit. Like, I want you to just have to buy a yacht as like you need to fucking do it. Otherwise, you guys pay so much taxes.
I don't know what to do with my money. I gotta buy a yacht.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want my friends to have that kind of money.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'd be great to. It's a wonderful thing about you is that you want to see people win.
Yeah, dude. That's
which I think everybody should. I don't understand why.
People get jealous.
Like I get people all the time, and I'm like, I bought a Rolex. Oh, you're just doing it to flex. No, motherfucker, you don't know how much I wanted this watch for how long. And there was a time in my life where I was like, hey, I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy this $50,000 watch, but I love it. Yeah. And then the time came, and I passed on it twice because I didn't have it. Yeah. Because what happens is they offer it to you. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can just walk in and go, hey, I want this watch. It's the watch becomes available. There's other people in line. They go to them, or they're already established clients, whatever. And then maybe if you're lucky and enough people have said no, they come to you and go, hey, we have this watch you wanted. And I said no twice because I just didn't have it. I did not have $47,000 to go and spend on a watch. Yeah. And then I got a call and they're like, hey,
do you want it?
I just happened to be going to dinner at that same casino that day where the Rolex was, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there later tonight
to go look at it. That's cool.
But it's not even to look at it. You just say, yeah, you've seen the watch.
Oh, okay. You already knew you wanted it.
Yeah, because it's like very weird to sit here and they go, hey, let me show you this watch you wanted, and then you decide, do you want it or not? Yeah. And because most of their clients just come in and go,
yeah, here's my car. I'll take it. Thanks.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Especially here in Vegas, you have so many high rollers and stuff coming in. Mm-hmm. Half the time, these guys, they make a phone call to somebody out of state and they go, hey, we got this watch you wanted. And they go, oh, perfect. I'm going to be in Vegas in 2 days anyway. Yeah. Put it aside for me. I'll come pick it up.
So what is why a $50,000 watch?
I don't think it was anything to do with the actual money. I think this particular one is it's a Rolex Sky Dweller with a chocolate dial and in rose gold, and I just loved the look of this watch.
So much so that you're willing to pay $50,000 for it.
Yeah, I think I just love the look of this watch. Let me see this
thing. I mean, this is a pretty dope watch.
Yeah, so it has a couple complications.
I love the weight. I love the weight.
Yeah.
Couple complications.
Yeah. Do you know what a complication is?
No, I don't know.
So a complication in a watch is in reference to everything that watch does besides tell time. So every watch tells time. Yeah. So this one tells you the date, and then it has an inner dial that has a 24-hour clock on it.
Okay.
And so that's another complication. That's two complications because now it tells you time in standard time and it tells you time in whatever military time, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And then this one also tells you the month, which is very unique.
Yeah.
You see the little red dot on the 4?
Yeah.
That moves in correspondence to the month.
Oh, interesting.
So this is it's April, so
yeah, it's fourth dot.
And so this is
All
Rolex's most complicated watch.
Okay. So that watch is 47 grand. I have a Breitling.
Yeah.
My Breitling's about
piece.
about 8 grand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel quite as heavy as the
it's steel, I believe, right?
Man, I don't know enough about it.
So this is rose gold. That's why it's heavy.
This one has like I can't remember. I'm not into watches enough. I just got it to get it. But
and I love the rubber strap. I think it plays it down. I think it's not as flashy because I have other Rolexes that people notice.
Yeah.
A lot less people notice this.
Yeah, it looks chill.
So it works as a everyday watch. Because I remember when I got my first one, I was eating at Chipotle, just stopped by real quick on the way to work, and
you're like, I'm gonna go buy a Rolex today real quick.
well, no. I bought. It was like 3 days after I bought it.
Yeah.
And I was going from one store to the other, and there's a Chipotle in the middle, and so I stopped there. I got my food. I sat down to eat, and some guy walks in and goes, "Hey, nice watch." And I was like, really weirded out. Mm-hmm. Well, why the hell are you looking at my wrist, dude? Like,
yeah,
I'm just chilling. Like, I just felt really.
You felt violated?
I didn't feel violated. I felt unsafe because I'm like, damn, like, how easy is it for someone to hit me for everything I got on right now? So that was a little jarring. So I like this one because people don't pick up on it.
It's more low key.
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, I think I've gotten compliments just on this one. Like, I've never been a watch guy, but now that I have like my first nice watch, like it is a nice piece to your outfit. Like, cause like everything I'm wearing, like I don't buy expensive clothes. Like, I can't fucking justify it.
Yeah.
But when I put this on, now my outfit's, like $8,000 outfit,
It elevates it. It's not even the $8,000 outfit.
That's how I think about it in my head.
I think watches are, I think they're a lost art. I think there are certain things I believe that men should always do. Mm-hmm. And I think having a watch on is because everybody goes, oh, like you can just look at your phone or I have my Apple Watch. Apple Watches are, I think, the most useless invention of the 21st century. I think a Fitbit is better than an Apple Watch.
Why?
Because what is the point of an Apple Watch? Have you had an Apple Watch?
Yeah, I have an Apple Watch.
Yeah. So what do you use it for?
The only thing I use it for is to track how long I'm at the gym for.
So a Fitbit, basically.
I don't know. I've never had a Fitbit.
But it's a Fitbit is a lot smaller, more of a bracelet, and it tracks the same things that an Apple Watch does.
But it's nice you can see the text messages and stuff that pop up.
Yeah, but if you want to respond, you still have to go into your phone. You can see the same thing by going like this, and if you got a text, you go, "Oh yeah. I see it."
What about for like active people who are running though? You've got your Apple Watch on,
again,
you got the thing.
Fitbit does the same thing.
Oh.
I think if you're gonna sell it as a fitness accessory, sell it as a fitness accessory.
Yeah.
Don't make it a watch. Oh, you can answer calls on this, or you can do this. Yeah. I think it's great in a lot of cases where people get injured, and it goes, we can call for help.
Yeah.
I just think an Apple Watch overall is
a waste. Okay.
Most people have their phones.
Fair enough.
I just think a nice watch says a lot about a man. I think you go, all right, this guy like may dress down, may not care about this, but at least he cares enough for this one facet. Like, it's not an easy thing to get. It's not it gives you a sense of achievement. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can just. I've been lucky, blessed, whatever you want to call it, to walk in and go, all right, I want this watch, and be able to buy it.
Yeah,
and I think it gives you a certain sense of standard.
Yeah,
that hey, I achieved something in my life, and now I'm able to go and do this.
I agree with that. I mean, I definitely now,
which is the same reason, I guess, why you want a boat and a nice car, and these things.
I like those things because they are like milestones for me. Like,
they're milestones.
They're marks of achievement.
Right.
But also you can do cool shit with them, And I, for me, like, life is all about the views. Like, that's everything for me. I can live a normal life in a normal house and do, when you make more money, you basically do the same shit. You just have better views.
Right. Absolutely.
And so 100%. I just want to have better views. Like, I want to, instead of being on the beach looking at the yachts going by, I want to be on the yacht looking at the beach going by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a bar.
And That's how I think about it. And then the same thing with a nice house. You want to have a nice house. Like I want to have a nice house with a view of the ocean, the water. I want to see the sunsets every day. Like for me, I'm a sunset person. Like if you ever spending my amount of time on a beach, like sunsets for me are just like magical.
Yeah.
Like, cause like, you only get to see so many of those. They're very limited. Like there's a lot, but at the same time, like you never know when you're not going to see the next one.
Where does it stop?
Whereas what for me,
Yeah.
bro, I don't know. Like my end game or like where I'm going to, for me, it's
where
always,
where do you think you go? This is enough.
all right. I have a house in South Florida on the beach, and the backyard has a pool with the beach facing the ocean. And on the front side of the house, there's going to be a road, and then on the other side of the road, there's a dock with my yacht. So now you can have your yacht parked on the intercoastal side where it's like calm, and then you have the beach on the backside. And that's your I'm done. That's my I'm done. And I spend my days living there, and then I can be,
that's a very descriptive I'm done.
Yeah.
Most people would give you a number.
No. Like I know I don't know
how much is that run?
Depends, but I mean, it can range from probably 20 million up to 100 million, right? The house that I would just be like, fuck, like I fucking made it. It doesn't get any better than this. Like I'm extremely blessed is $60 million. Like that's.
You have a house picked out? You've seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The house I want, actually, it's for sale right now. Like I want something like this. I don't know if it'll be for sale when I have that kind of money, but the guy who founded the LASIK Institute, like it's like a national eye LASIK surgery center all over the country. The dude owns it. His name's like Maximo Musso. I don't know. He's like a Greek Italian guy or some shit, but he owns his house, $60 million. He has a yacht, all this shit. Like he's living like my dream life. I'm like, fuck. And at that point in time, when you got that kind of money, it's just like, all right, now what's next? Now I just want to make the world a better place. Like I got my goals done. I took care of me and mine.
You want to make the world a better place?
Yeah, at that point I do. Yeah. But along the way, I want to inspire and motivate people to have better goals and do bigger things and just live better lives for themselves. Because I grew up in a family where my household has been broken 2 times.
Yeah.
My parents divorced twice. And just chaos in my family. My family's been chaotic as fuck. And so if I can build something that can leave behind like a significant family legacy, like a generation of wealth. It takes one generation to change the rest of your generation's lives. And so if I can do that, then I changed my entire family course of history. I busted out of poverty.
Yeah, but so you said that the generational thing. Yeah. You don't want kids, from my understanding.
I don't want kids, but
so what happens? What happens to, let's say you hit your goals?
Yeah. I'd probably adopt a kid, at that
point.
Okay. I gotta leave it to somebody. Maybe I'll leave it to your kids, I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, because you said it takes one generation to build it up. It also takes one generation to fuck it all the way.
It does. Yeah, it goes both ways. But so far, my previous, not that my family is like fuck ups, but they just didn't do the right things. They showed me exactly what not to do.
Right.
Same like your dad with your business, And so, once, I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% shut down on kids. It's just it would be a life-changing event and like a lifestyle-changing event, because I was talking to a guy yesterday and he had kids and I was like, it changes the relationship between you and your wife. And he's like, yeah, 100%. Nothing's ever going to be the same again. And that scares me because I love how things are. I like my relationship with my wife. I like how we are right now. And to bring another motherfucker into that, you know what I mean?
No, who cares if it's my own kid?
I don't care if it's my own kid. Yeah. I told Sarah, if we ever had kids, it's us versus them. We can make more of them things. Okay. If we got a bad one, they're out, kick them to the curb. We'll make more, but I guess that's probably not how it would go down, but
no, I think you'd change your tone once you actually are a part of it.
Absolutely. So I got a couple more questions for you here, and we'll wrap it up. But we'll do one question. So I know that you're born in Pakistan. You're from the Middle East. Yeah. You're Muslim? Obviously,
I am,
yeah. So you're a Muslim guy. So has your faith impacted your business or how you do things?
No, because I don't think I'm particularly religious.
No.
So I don't think it impacts anything. Yeah. I know we were talking about luck and stuff earlier. I personally attribute a lot of it to God. Mm-hmm. Because I do have faith. I'm probably the shittiest Muslim walking.
Yeah.
But I do have faith in my religion. I do claim the religion. So I stand by what it says. I don't follow it to a T. I'm not the best spokesperson for the religion.
Yeah, but you believe in the messages.
But I believe in the messages. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think more so I believe in my mother. Mm-hmm. And my mother is very religious. And so I think my only link to God comes through my mom. So I think that to me means a lot more than, because I think intrinsically my mom is a really good human being.
Yeah.
At her core, she's never done drugs, never drank, never has in my 31 years of knowing her, has she ever said something that made me go, that's weird, you know, like she's never wished ill on another person.
Yeah.
Even when people have done wrong to her.
Sure.
So she's always been a very neutral good, I think. And so I respect that a lot. And I think she gets a lot of that from the religion. And so I take that from her. And I do believe in it. Like, you know, you can work back to it. I think you can work your ass off and sometimes call it God, call it universe, call it luck, whatever, favors you in a way that it didn't favor somebody else.
Yeah.
And you end up where you're at. I think it's a lot of hubris to sit here and say, oh, I work hard. So because a lot of people work hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's everyday Americans out there that work hard. They may work hard at the wrong things or whatever.
That's what it is. They work hard at the wrong things.
But I think you dive into it a little too much. I think it's some people just don't know.
But that's why I'm starting this podcast. I want people to know, dude. There's other ways.
There's a lot of other ways. I think betting on yourself, you'll get further than doing than taking the you know, you'll get further betting on yourself than taking the path that's laid in front of you.
Well, I've been really resonating with this saying, right? Like you get a choice in life whether people think you have a choice or not. But it's hard to work a 9-to-5 job. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. You get to choose your hard, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a choice. You can choose to be a good person and all the hard decisions that you have to make with that. You can choose to be a bad person, all the bad things that come with that. You can choose to drink and drive. Or you can choose not to drink and drive. They're both like, you know, sometimes hard decisions.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's
you know?
You're always presented with a choice.
Yeah. And so you got to choose your heart. I think everything's going to be fucking hard. Nothing's ever fun. A lot of the time, life is just a fucking grind. And then you get little moments and days, little mental snapshots where you're like, fuck, this moment right here is why I do everything that I do.
I get that.
That's why
I get that. Because I get people that like sit there and go, oh, like you got it off of your dad's money, or nobody really knows the grind. And then they go, nobody knows the story, the work it took to get to a certain point.
Yeah, maybe now they will.
Go, well, I don't care. I stopped giving a shit about it.
Yeah,
a long time ago. Because again, people that are worried about how I'm living versus how I'm doing it are two. You know, like there's nobody ever comes up and goes, "Hey, man, what did you do to be able to afford this lifestyle?" It's always, "Oh, he did this, so now he has this." Nobody actually comes up and asks you. Nobody comes up to you and goes, "Hey, Travis, what did you do to afford the lifestyle that you're living?"
Yeah, I posted something on Facebook. I can't remember what it was, but it was something, and this dude, he knew me from high school, and he's like, "Oh, you only got this because you had rich parents. Not all of us have rich parents." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, like you don't know shit. My parents haven't given me a fucking dime." Yeah, like it just
that's what it is. People will make up their own version. Of who they want you to be. For whatever reason.
So that way they can justify why they don't have it.
Right. So they can feel better about their lives. And then, you know, it is what it is.
Yep. That's crazy.
You wake up and you make your own choices, and you make your day and you make your bed, and you do it long enough, the bed gets bigger, and, you know, the days get nicer, and
the views get better. Yeah. All right. Last question, man. This is a really important one because it's going to be a big year. Trump or Biden?
This is a hot point because I remember a couple years ago we had the same discussion at the Hook Lounge. Do you remember? We were at Olive, and you've always been a very open Trump supporter.
Yeah,
and I'm going Trump, man. I've made enough in my life now where I'm like, I gotta get these tax credits because I paid a whole lot of money this year.
Yeah.
I to be honest, I think we're fucked either way. I'm not a fan of either or.
Yeah.
I think, which is a sad thing for Americans because politicians aren't politicians anymore. It's more.
Yeah. Who's got whose hand in whose pocket?
Yeah. It used to be where politics was an art. you know, getting what you wanted through various ways of movement, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
Now it's become we hate them, they hate us. It's causing a lot of divides in this country, I think, overall.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, we got to find a way to work together. Now we're kind of...
Yeah, but that's by design.
You think so?
Yeah, dude.
By whose design?
Powers that be. I don't know exactly who, but
You think the powers that be have our best interests?
Hell no. Hell no. I don't trust anybody other than me, truly, that has my best interest in mind. You know?
Yeah.
Like, other than Sarah. I think Sarah has my best interest in mind. And I have hers. You don't think so?
I'm just kidding. No, she does.
Yeah, she does.
She's wonderful. She thinks out for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
I'm only saying this so that she hears this. And
Sarah's a giver. For the record, Sarah, you heard that. Humza says you're a good person. But anyway, well, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Always, bro. Thank you.
Hopefully you guys learned something on this. Where can they reach you, get a hold of you? They got questions about smoke shops.
Instagram at Humza Grams, and I think that's about it. That's the only
So
real social media.
HAMZA
Grams, Grams.
Humza Grams. Find him at Humza Grams. Send him a message about smoke shops. Give him a compliment on his nice watch. You know, whatever, whatever you want to do. Tell him something cool. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one.